Everyone, just here to show you another little embellishment kit here. These are for junk journals or mini albums, scrapbooking, you know, those kinds of things, and all for sale on my Etsy store. So in the pack you'll get these two kind of bundles. There's 25 items in total. So if I show you kind of the small items first, so they're contained in this handmade little bag, if you like, paper bag, that's just finished off with some lace trim and a bit of doily and things. So inside the bag, and the bag doesn't count as one of the 25 items, it's just obviously as a container. So inside the bag we've got a little stamped frame there in a heart shape, and it's on coffee stained paper. Then we've got a chipboard tile with a vintage gramophone, and that's been distressed with distress inks. There's a chipboard tile of a ballerina. That's again been distressed. And these chipboard tiles, by the way, they've been covered with paper and then distressed kind of on top of the paper and stamped, you know, with the image on top of the paper. So the next one, again, been paper covered and then stamped this gorgeous perfume bottle and then distressed around the edge. And then this one is a little frame, would you call that? And it's chipboard, again, been covered in paper. It's obviously got these two kind of nodule bits at the side that you would just poke out that little piece in there if I put it close. And then obviously attach it with maybe a brad or, you know, something like that. So that's that. And then you've got a little kind of photo mat or a journaling spot that would just be kind of glued into the album. That's on coffee stained paper. Then there's a little mini envelope with a stamped image, and then it's got a little flower and a little tiny butterfly. There's a stamped image of this tiny postcard, and then a stamped image of a pocket watch, again all on the coffee stained paper. And then there's a label ticket on coffee stained paper there, a coffee stained Eiffel Tower image, that's that, a little twine bow, and then a little, this is actually a fabric image, sorry, a stamped image onto fabric, so this one's of a butterfly, and then it's been stitched onto paper, coffee stained paper, and then stitched on again to another layer of coffee stained paper, and then it's got some coffee stained fabric trim down the side, kind of left just quite rusticy. So that's that one. So all of that just is contained in that bag. That's the first half of the package. Sorry about that. Back again, was just interrupted there by someone coming into the room. So the second part of the package is contained within this twine wrap here. So you've got this flower here, which I can't remember the name of these. There is a kind of name for these little flowers, but it's just been made with obviously the satiny stuff there, which has been padded. So it's got two of those, which are kind of filled puffy flowers, and then it's been edged with lace. Then it's got this pearly kind of trim backed onto felt, and then the centre, don't know whether this class has vintage or not, but it's an old one of my mum's earrings from about 25 years ago. So I once read that anything over 20 years is classed as vintage. So if that's the case, then it's got a kind of vintage, you know, altered earring as the centre. So that's kind of that item. Then the next item is this fabric trim, which I make this on the sewing machine by just kind of ruching up the fabric and obviously stitching it. And then I cover it with this, or I have covered this one with the Diamante kind of trim. And then I've backed the back with felt, just glued that on, so it's kind of a bit more rigid for when you receive it. And obviously that looks quite good stuck down on pages or whatever. It can be trimmed, so if you just wanted a tiny bit on the page, then just trim it there, and then when you glue it down, obviously just glue right to the end of where you're actually gluing it on. So that's that. So first item is this little pocket. I would use it as a pocket. Obviously it could be a tag or something. So it's a little fabric image of these shoes, which look quite vintage. The fabric's been coffee stained, and then it's got this fabric kind of trim down the side, which has also been coffee stained. And that's been stitched onto a coffee stained patterned paper with another coffee stained little piece of patterned paper to the side. So that's the first item. Well, that's the first paper item anyway in this set. And then you've got a couple of postcards, which I like to use these just as pockets on the page. They just work really well, kind of perfect size really, I think, for just kind of popping on the page and using as pockets. Then you've got this stamped image, which again, I mean, you could use it as a tag or a pocket. I would probably use it as a pocket, because it's quite kind of good size. And just glue that onto the page. Then you've got a coffee stained tag with some lace and one of those little postcards, and then it's just been kind of got some twine there. Then you've got this fold out wallet, and that's all just in coffee stained paper with some lace trim and this patterned kind of decorative edge. So that's that. Then you've got this journaling spot here with another coffee stained fabric with a stamped image on there, which again has been stitched with the sewing machine just onto there. Again, I'd probably use that as a pocket on the page, but I guess equally it could be used as a tag. So that's that one. And then the next item is again some more of this fabric with these gorgeous images. So again, it's been coffee stained and then stitched onto this coffee stained paper with some more of the coffee stained fabric trim down the side there, just ruched up and stitched on. And that's a little fold out booklet. So again, could use that as a kind of tag or just glue it onto the page as a little fold out little book there. And then you've got this coin envelope, which again, just coffee stained paper, made a coin envelope, put some twine around it and some lace trim, got a little stamped image of a postage stamp and this teeny butterfly, and then a pull out tag that just goes in like that. So obviously in the bundle you'd get these items along with these, and yeah, 25 items altogether. I hope you like them. If you do, then obviously they're for sale in my Etsy store, so check them out. Thanks for watching. Bye.